This boat is equipped with the very latest Garmin multifunction display, and to talk us through this today is Kieran Andrews from Garmin New Zealand.
So John, this is one of our GPS Map 7412 units. It's one of our higher end multifunction displays. With this unit, it's got an inbuilt sonar, and within that sonar there are multiple options. A chirp sonar like we've got here, and we've hooked up a 1 kilowatt transducer to this particular model, so this will do everything from your inshore fishing right out to about 1,000 metres depth. Within this unit as well, it's a chart plotter. One of our really cool features this year with our chart plotters, if we make this full screen and then use the menu function, there's a tab here that says quick draw contours, and based on what our sonar is actually reading, it's going to redraw our map in real time. So no more inaccurate charts, you can build your own charts based on where you're fishing. You can share it with your mates, or you can keep it completely private if you don't want to share your fishing spots. We've added a radar. Now it's a 42 nautical mile radar. With this boat here, we'd expect to see boats and hard objects to about 6 miles, just over the horizon. We'll just select single range here. We'll be able to see those hard targets in front of us, and within the menu on that, there is a gain option. You've got echo trails, so you can display them. So what that does is it leaves a trail behind your target, so you can get a good idea of where they move. So if you're a game fisherman, if you're looking for birds out on the horizon, or even because they're higher than you over the horizon, these radars also have bird mode. This unit here will be networked to our Fusion stereo down here. By tapping the power button, go to the media, we can control it from there. So it saves having to have 2 head units or just taking your eyes off the water. We also take that NMEA information out to our VHF radio, so it has our position information should we get into trouble.
So Kieran, when should we be adjusting the gain on the sonar?
Now for most of you cruising around, when it comes to your fishing, you'll be wanting to use manual gain. And you'll see here, if I take the gain right up, I'm letting in all of the information that's available. We don't want to see everything that's in the water. If I bring it down a bit, we're taking out a bit of that information. So I can see here, because there's 2 consistent lines in the water, those are thermoclines. I don't really want to see the thermoclines. I want to see what's within the thermoclines and under them. So I'm going to use my gain function again. I'm going to drag it down a little further until they disappear. And now you'll see that all I'm seeing on the screen are the fish targets. I can see individual fish within what the sonar is picking up. Within your chirp frequencies, on this particular vessel we have low and high frequency. You'll see fish down to around 3 to 350 metres on the high frequency. Once we get out to deep water and beyond the range of what it's capable of, we'll select low chirp. Now low chirp is a longer wavelength pulse, and it's designed to punch deeper into the water column, and that's where we're going to get that 800 to 1,000 metres. It's sending out a pulse of frequencies, and then when you get the return, because you're getting slightly different returns off each frequency, it builds a clearer image of what's down there. So instead of going across a school of kahawai like you used to, and it turns the screen red right across, you'll now go across that same school of kahawai and you'll get a lot more individual fish targets.
That's interesting.
When you go to select your transducer, select the frequencies that are best for what you're doing. So high frequency, very good for targeting kingfish. They're quite a big target. Generally, guys are live baiting in that sort of 50 to 120 metre mark. Whereas if we switch to a medium frequency and say 500 watts, in this inshore snapper fishery we've got here, we've got a slightly better beam angle and we get a lot better target discrimination chasing the snapper. And deep water, obviously, you're going to need the low frequency. You're going to need the punch, and you're going to need to go 1 kilowatt to get that much deeper. So if you're chasing blue nose, halfhook, or even swordfish, and they are targeting individual swordfish with their 1 kilowatt transducers. We've put our top of the line mapping on. When you're navigating, use your navigation chart. When you go fishing, then switch over to your fishing chart. And you'll see, if we duck out to the back of the barrier here, you'll see all of the extra detail. It's a bathymetric chart. So if you're looking for points, pinnacles, drop-offs, that kind of thing, live baiting for kingfish, then you're going to find a nice point where the contour lines squish, and you're going to look for some current coming hard down on them. Go around there with your sonar, mark your fish, and drop your baits or jigs right on top of them. With the full screen detail that we've got here, what we tend to do is keep it up on the side and keep relevant information there. I'd actually quite like to have the water temperature there. So I'll just put my finger on there. I want water temperature, and now I've changed that there. So now we can tell we've got a water temperature of 19.35. So if we add another 1.5 degrees to that, we'll put some marlin lures out and we'll be away laughing. And let's say we have been trolling along for marlin and we've seen this bait ball here. What I'm going to do is put my finger on top of it. I can scroll back up to 2.5 pages, but I want to go to this bait ball here. I'm going to go to new waypoint, and because I'm trolling, I want to go back to it. So I think there's going to be a marlin hanging around there. I'm going to go navigate to, and I'm going to go to. It's going to draw me a straight line back to that point. I can go to the navigation chart, and it's dropped a waypoint back there. And all we do now is put the boat in gear and turn around and go back to our fishing spot. What I tell any customer is to sit and play with the unit. That's the only way you're going to get your head around. It doesn't matter what brand it is, but Garmin just happens to be the easiest to use in the market. If you are playing with your unit out of the water, turn your unit on, tap the power button, and you'll see a tab here that says disable all sonar transmission. That allows you to safely use your unit out of the water. We've got a combinations tab here. We want to build a custom combination. I want to change the layout to 3, and I want the tiles to look like this. And within this, I want to make them about that size there because I like to have a bit more chart information. I like to know what's happening around me. I'll select my fishing chart, select my sonar. I'm going to select radar as well. That's our combos page there. So you can build that combination however you like. Very, very simple to use.
John Acklesome from Boating New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel.